38 past the hour with Walter M. Sterling. This is a live radio show on Sunday night. Can you think of another live radio show on Sunday night that is not religion-based? No, because there aren't any. Mike Smith has come up with a very clever idea for an audio book. And I was so intrigued by it, I said, well, Mike, why don't you come on our show? But I didn't actually say that to him. I said it to some of his people. Mike, do you have people?
For the first time in my life, Walter, I have a person who has people. And, people who need people are the song.
Now, it's very impressive that you've gotten to a point in your career where you have, people, Mike Smith. You've assembled,
thank you, Walter.
You've assembled a collection of stories, many of them humorous. What is the name of this collection?
Well, the name of the collection is 100 of the Worst Ideas in History. And it is, let's say it's not your father's history book. It's humorous, it's irreverent, and it celebrates some of mankind's most astonishing faux pas, foibles, and foul-ups.
Is New Coke in there?
New Coke is to be found in here. That is correct. That is one of the biggest, let's say, blunders, bad ideas in product history. And I can certainly talk about that one if you'd like, or we can talk about any of the others you might want to go into.
You know what the CEO of Coca-Cola said after the fiasco was pulled off the shelves? You know what he said? When he was asked...
This is Roberto Guzziuta. Yes.
When he was asked, did your company do this on purpose for publicity, to focus attention on the greatness of original Coke? And you know what he said? He said, we are neither smart enough nor dumb enough to have thought of that. And I thought that was a great answer.
You're right to say that really all it did was refocus loyalty and affection onto original Coke, which they later named Coke Classic. But they received over 400,000 distraught calls and angry letters. They brought in a psychiatrist to handle the incoming calls. They just underestimated the deep, abiding respect and as I said, affection for the original Coke. And this was really a response to Pepsi kind of gaining market share. It was a little sweeter. It appealed to the younger demographic, and 100-year-old Coke was feeling the heat. So they decided to change it. They came out with New Coke, and it cost them hundreds of millions of dollars to launch it. There were boycotts eventually looming, and just 3 months after its birth, they pulled it and went back to traditionally formulated Coke, now called Coke Classic.
All right, Mike Smith, share with us this amazing story of naked swimming.
Well, we call this one in the book, the skinny dipping president. And if you pardon the pun, it gives crack of dawn a whole new meaning. Because each morning, President John Quincy Adams sneaks down to the Potomac, undresses, and proceeds to skinny dip with the ducks and geese, all the while naked as a jaybird. So there's a reporter, English reporter named Anne Royal, who hears about this. Every morning, Quincy Adams is doing this. And she hides out in the Potomac's foliage and catches the unsuspecting president in the buff. She takes his clothes and holds them ransom until he agrees to grant her a long-awaited interview he's been putting off. So he gets his clothes back, and she gets the interview, and she doesn't really mention his, shall we say, ballsy morning escapade. But soon the word gets out, as it always does in these circles in Washington, and now Adams is, shall we say, swimming in a pool of national ridicule and shame. And as a result, the Adams administration policy agenda stalled, and he's soundly defeated for re-election in 1828 by Andrew Jackson. And in the end, the electorate considered Adams' sagging credibility and saggy backside and concluded the emperor has no clothes.
This is a great story, Mike Smith. Once more, what's the name of your book?
The name of the book is 100 of the Worst Ideas in History. It's available on Amazon, Audible.com, and iTunes.
That's fantastic. you will have to come on and tell us another story. Okay, that was great, and
I would
appreciate.
be happy to do so, Walter. I've been a fan of yours for a while.
I have one more question for you, Mike Smith.
Yeah.
I confess the fact that I love Hostess orange cupcakes. I've never shared that with anyone before. I've never told my current wife. I've never told any of my women. I never told any of my children. No one ever knew that I liked orange Hostess cupcakes. Mike Smith, do you have a junk food that you would like to confess to us now for the first time in your life?
I love, I love Nutter Butter cookies.
Oh.
I don't know if you know these cookies. They're shaped like a peanut, but they have a cookie, peanut butter, and a cookie. Kind of a sandwich deal. They are fantastic. You get a nice cold glass of milk. You dunk those babies in there, and they are unbelievable.
And how many of those do you eat at a sitting? Tell me the truth.
Well, all right. It's just you and I speaking now, right, Walter? Just between the two of us.
Yes.
Well, I'll believe that, maybe. And I confess to being able to eat, and this is embarrassing, and I could eat an entire package in one sitting. And I think that's 24. I think that's 24 cookies.
The truth. My God, it's the first time on this station anyone has told the truth. Mike Smith, thank you very much for being on Sterling on Sunday. I will post the link. Oh, I have to talk about this. I was going to say I'm going to post it on Facebook, the link to your site, the link to your book. But I have to go through this insane process now on Facebook to prove that I am who I say I am. So I can't post anything today, but I will get to it, Mike. I swear to God. Thank you very much for being on Sterling on Sunday. Live radio show from Maine to KFBK in Sacramento.